Welcome, budding radicals and curious reactionaries. I am doing an early show today. My delay may be off. I've just been playing with lights, as you can see. I've been working on self-care this weekend because obviously, this has been a shitty week for everybody. Absolutely everybody. And it's not about to get better anytime soon. So, yeah, it's going to be a short show today. Not really much as far as updates. I mean, you can see the protests going on. Obviously, like, if you've been watching woke.net at all, you've been seeing there's been, like, right-wing brawling going on there, getting nuts. If you've been downtown Phoenix at all, you'll see these fucking red and black fuckers driving around in their vans with their fucking flags. Did I say red and black? I meant red and yellow. Their colors, the fucking Proud Boys, are really sporting red and yellow right now. They're Don't Tread on Me flags, and then whatever fucking black flags they roll with. And yeah, they are very out in force. If you watched woke.net at all, you would have seen there were a few counter-protesters out last night to celebrate Biden and, you know, show these right-wing people what's up. The election's not going to get solved anytime soon. I don't remember if anyone remembers. I don't know if anyone remembers 9/11 and the 2000 election, but yeah, we thought fucking Gore won that too. And fucking Florida had a shit ton of these then. They were organized by Roger Stone, and they were all wearing brown khakis and shit. But, you know, the same fucking things. They were storming outside of election offices and hassling the election count. And then, magically, the vote goes to fucking George Bush. So you can expect that kind of fucking shit to happen. Like, I know it looks like we won bigly, because you look at the Electoral College and the popular vote count, but there's a lot of fucking states that were fucking close that are gonna get recounted. So we don't have anything to celebrate on that front because fucking shit's not over. It's gonna be a while. It's gonna take at least a month. You know, at the very least, till the end of the month when states have to start certifying their votes. Which, side note, legal marijuana in Arizona, November 30th. Once they certify that, that is our fucking freelance growing sessions. Once the vote gets certified, possession and use and home grow becomes legal right away. That doesn't take time to go into effect. The recreational licenses will probably start going out to dispensaries around March. And then by April, they have to have the licensing system set up for everybody else. So that's that front. I got a COVID test today. Because, having to go back to work and being around people again means you're getting exposed to fucking people who don't know how to stay home when they're fucking sick. So, one of my coworkers who went to the Not Apache fucking Lake Festival was fucking coughing and wheezing in the fucking truck with me all week long. And it got to a point where I had to say something to my boss, like, I don't feel cool with this guy not wearing a mask in the truck and, like, fucking not even, like, you know, just in his hands or just wherever. So yeah, I got tested today out of precaution. So if you need to get tested, Phoenix College, their women's center, like, has free fucking testing. It's fucking easy to get an appointment. It's just drive up. The swab is really fucking easy. If you've done any kind of nose drugs, it's nothing you can't handle. Um, so yeah, like, I'll get my results in the next couple days. Hopefully, I'm just being overly cautious. Um, but yeah, like, my fucking cycles have been going nuts as far as bipolar. So I don't know, like, if my body is just like in pain because of that, or maybe I'm getting sick with something. Who knows? But precaution. Um, yeah, yeah. So election stuff. Not really protests. I mean, there's protests. I mean, things. There's some celebrations and chuds everywhere. Um, Clearly, unemployment isn't getting fixed anytime soon. Um, oh, yeah. Let's. Do I have the comments up on here? No, I don't. My thing got screwed up again. No, that is supposed to be the chat. Oh, I have to relog into the chat. I'm gonna relog into the chat real quick in case any of you want to yell into the void with me. Um, Logging in to the chat. Um, yeah, work is kicking my ass. Like, going and being out and trying to do work is. Oh, I have to do a fucking captcha. Traffic lights. Uh. Oh, that's. I spelled my name wrong. Apparently, I did the captcha right. All right. Well, if any of you can uh, want to throw in anything in the chat, go ahead. I'm watching chat. Um, oh, Halloween. Fucking COVID Fest Halloween. Uh, yeah, I went out to Grand Avenue where they usually have the. Um, it's like a lowrider circus parade. Um, Not a fucking single mask. Hundreds of people all around. Yeah, this shit's gonna get worse. Uh, but so I did a Halloween display, and with all my lights, since they cost me my marriage, so I might as well get some use out of them, even though I'm not gonna be able to make any money off of them. Um, but that spurned my neighbor to dive deep into his wrestling obsession, and so now we're apparently starting a amateur wrestling circuit show. So Budding Radicals will be hosting that apparently. So that's a thing to look forward to: anarchism and amateur wrestling. That should be our slogan: Budding Radicals, anarchism and amateur wrestling, amateur professional wrestling, because we're really going to focus on all of the drama and theatrical aspects of it, obviously, because we can't afford a real wrestling ring. Um, so stay tuned for that. Yeah, so that's about as much as an update as I'm really going to be able to do this week, I think. Um, yeah, shit's going to get weird. It's going to keep getting more frenetic. My bipolar's getting fucking nuts between working and having to deal with fucking life problems left and right. Um, so expect the show to be a little bit sporadic. I might dip out on weeks to do self-care. Um, yeah, I'm kind of on a fucking thread right now. Between how far behind on bills I am and just fucking living in the ghetto and Oh, yeah, I don't know how I'm gonna fucking do this. So, if you want to mutual aid me, if you appreciate my depressing outlook, and feel free to Facebook me money. I won't say no now. But you should also be doing that for your friends too. You know, shit, man, things are gonna get bad. Like, there's just the amount of houseless people that are like keep growing in downtown Phoenix. Like, oh, I'm. I don't know how we're gonna make it through this. Like, I know you guys think it's over, like you liberal friends, but it's far from over. You know, even if you do get the White House, you don't have control of any of the Congress. You don't have control of any of the courts. Like, if you want to get anything done, we're going to have to be constantly out in the streets for everything. You know, and again, not out in the streets, let's go fucking tear shit up, but just being fucking expensive and annoying. That's all it means. It's a war of attrition. You know, they can't afford to keep beating the fuck out of us forever. Eventually, it's going to get too expensive for them. You know, that's how all of these guerrilla tactics work, by making it too expensive and difficult to maintain the system as it stands. So we're going to have to start building this stuff from the ground up, because none of these top-down organizations want any of this. The unions don't want it. The businesses definitely don't want it, and all of these non-profit organizations, the really big activist organizations, are scams. They're just professionals getting professional money. So it's going to come down to organizing things yourselves and finding the people in your community that share your interests and your goals, and working with them on that. It's not just like any of you in the musician scene. You know, if you just start a friend with your really close friends, you're all going to have the same friends. So it's really going to be hard to get people to that show, right? So you want to be able to get people from different areas in on your groups, so you have, just like a band, you know, you have all of these other ancillary people to draw from. So it's not all just one friend group, you know? So, you know, it's gonna take a lot of work and a lot of time, and we have to be prepared for that. Um, but it's gonna really mean being creative and not thinking about the rules as they've been given to us, on how do you engage with the government, and how do you create civil disobedience, and all of these. You know, I mean, there are certain rules to follow, you know, but creativity, you know, we can't get hampered down by this is the way it's been done. You know, the way it's been done hasn't been working, you know, so that's where we as anarchists, you know, come into play, as far as like, we're just the bad news bears of organizing. We usually don't have any money or any like professional experience to draw on. So we just have to try and fail and critique ourselves, and try again and fail and critique ourselves, and constantly get better at doing it. Um, and and that's a trick, you know, and I've organized all of my artistic groups in this manner, you know. So I know it's a trick. It's not any kind of guaranteed success, but it's literally the only options we have left to us. We don't have 2 decades of real grassroots, radical organizing. Like what people don't realize with the New Deal is it wasn't that Roosevelt was this great progressive. He was pretty much like Joe Biden, except cooler, and younger. And But it was the communist, anarchist, and socialist trade movements that really spurned that action. They were organizing general strikes and just being a general nuisance and organizing all of this stuff for decades. 50 years of organizing it took for them. We don't have that time, and you guys that want to wait and like take some time to celebrate, we don't have that time. We need to start now. We're behind the clock, and the right wing has been organizing incessantly since the 30s. And this is a violent, fascistic right wing. I don't call them fascists because it's more feudalist in nature. When you get to the libertarian ideals, that's libertarian capitalism is just feudalism. So fucking get off your asses and start doing something different. I don't care what you do. As long as it's not the same fucking tweets, donate money to this group that's not actually going to get boots on the ground. Awareness is only going to get us so far. It comes to organizing, which organizing means going across your echo chamber and getting new people in and mobilizing those people to create real action. Not fucking tweets, not fucking donations to people who don't get those boots on the ground. I've been trying to volunteer with at least 5 different organizations during COVID because I had nothing but fucking free time. And none of them knew how to deal with boots on the ground. Unless you had a very specific like administrative skill, they didn't know how to just get people running at things. So whereas, like I'm used to in the technical world, like, fuck, go get on that ladder. We can always find something for you to do. So, yeah, I mean, that's going to be the action note I'm going to leave off on. All of you that are upset about the last 4 years and upset about Biden being your savior, having to be what you rely on and barely fucking squeaking it out. You barely squeaked it out. If you hold on to it, it's a fucking narrow win. Don't look at the electoral college numbers. You have to look at the state by state numbers. On a state by state, region by region basis, like the Democrats do not have a public mandate. They do not have enough of the country, enough states who went for Joe Biden. It had to be a washout where almost every state, except for a few outliers, went for Joe Biden for you to have an easy peasy, we're done with this. Fascists are beaten. Fascists are not beaten. They are just held from the door very, very lightly because, reminder, Joe Biden is an authoritarian. All of his policies for the past 48 years he's been in office have increased the authoritarian power of the federal and state governments. He has just given police and violent state repression and surveillance more power and authority. All right? He built the camps that the kids are housed in. So unless you're out in the streets and outside ICE buildings, saying send them home, they're not going to get anything done. And so you have to gather your friends from all of your walks of life, and you have to start building community action groups. You know, and just thinking, our contributor Paul Ann, she does community cleanup. That's her action task. That's the thing she's passionate about, and that's the thing that she can organize people to go do. Do that, you know, um, and uh, but you want to start these action groups with a vague goal, not very specific goals, so you can add these things into those groups. So you have someone whose main passion and task is to organize community cleanup. Someone else organizes and wrangles people for food collection and distribution. And then from these community action groups, we build voter blocks because we do have to engage in the electoral system, not because it's a revolutionary thing. It's not going to ever get us change, but it's even further attention. When we pass a referendum that gets us a public bank, and the governor and the city council and the state chambers override it because they do that, then we get to go out into the streets again and demand more democracy. It's this whittling away of their ability to pull the wool over our eyes and give us what we're not asking for. And we have to build all of these alternative power structures outside of the political system. So when we do engage with the political system, we have these structures around the pyramid to attack it from. You can't attack the pyramid from the inside. You have to take out too many bricks before that thing's going to fall. But you have to hit it from all sides. That's what this is going to take. It's going to take all of us fucking sacrificing time and energy. I'm doing the show early today so I can finish figuring out some lighting stuff so I can go help my worker co-op group figure out this stuff so they can look and sound better for when they have to do their professional presentation, so people take them more seriously. That's a thing I can contribute to all of these groups. I'm going to be taking the Arizona Entertainment United as first as a group to provide technical support, audio video support for all of these other groups. So when we go out and spread our message, we look and sound good because that gives us an air of authority, like we've done the work. We're professionals. So, yeah, that's the action note. Start community action groups. You don't have to do things the way I say it. Most of the stuff I say is fucking weird. And most of the times I'm just saying things to spurn people to have different ideas. If you did everything I said, holy fuck would we all be in trouble. I give people some really bad ideas on purpose because sometimes that kind of steers the conversation in an interesting direction. But it's time for now. Now is all we have left. These right-wing psychopaths are fucking organized. They are fucking angry. They're fucking armed. And they're ready to go. They might not be rioting in the streets right now, but there's fucking scattered violence all across the country. These people are drunk and they're ready to go. Yeah, no, Taco. I'm going to wrap it up. So yeah, that's our show for today. we'll try, and we're gonna start working on getting more interviews and really pushing on that. And so yeah, hopefully we'll do a show next week. Hopefully I'll feel better and not have COVID. That would be great. I would love that. But you guys stay safe and get moving. Talk to your friends. What are we going to start doing? And it's not just letter writing campaigns. It's not, start researching the labor movement of like the 1920s and the 1910s. The International Workers of the World, one big union. The CIO. Not the AFL-CIO, but the CIO. They were the drivers that got Keynesian capitalism instituted in America. Even though it didn't fix any of the problems, it was a Band-Aid. It was something. Start looking up your anarchists on Twitter. That's mainly where they broadcast. I can start sharing out more anarchist Twitter if you guys comment and ask me to do that. But creativity, it's going to take a lot of creativity and thinking outside the box, and getting funky, guys. It doesn't have to be mean and angry, but it's got to be a thorn in their side. We got to be annoying. All right, so before Taco goes nuts, I'm going to sign off. Let me know how it looks today. I'm still experimenting with like lighting stuff. I've got my big board out again, and I just so nitpicky. I get it right for a second, and then something changes. So I want to get this all looking consistent from one show to another. That would be fucking great, especially for these other groups and organizations, being able to like hit a button and you look good, rather than the amount of fine tuning I had to do today. So, all right, have a good week, guys. Do your mental health checks on your friends with mental health issues. Start your community action group now. Start gathering your friends. Start making plans to do something. And be very vocal about it. That's what it's going to take. All of us getting our hands in the mud and picking up a little bit of dirt. Okay? So, you guys be safe, and take a little bit of the win. Feel happy. Let that wash over you. It wasn't as terrible as it could have been with a resounding loss, which you guys almost got. But feel happy. Just don't get comfortable, because this is far from over. Very, very far. All right. I'll see you guys next week.
Where'd Ren go? Did you say it goes back down?
I didn't hear.
I would dip up off that way and see. It looks like there's like a clearing, or like people go over there. I'm curious.